What I'm about to say is a bit disrespectful of the Lord of Geo and would draw a lot of angry looks. So it's best to discuss this somewhere quiet. Your argument just now exhibited acuteness of speech and thought. Most importantly, you don't fall for the boasting and acting of the others. You remain objective. So I have a question for you. Perhaps you will answer differently from other scholars. Do you think that all the gods that the Geo Archon killed were evil?
Let's not analyze it in terms of good versus evil. Rex Lapis placed great importance on the integrity of contracts. So any gods he killed certainly must have broken some kind of contract.
Right! The Lord of Geo wouldn't kill the innocent.
But when I was doing some research, I learned about the legend of the god of salt. The god of salt, Havria, was a very kind god. But she encountered Morax one day in battle. Morax used a rather underhanded trick to assassinate her.
What? No way!
This bit of history is a long story. But you may not like the truth when you hear it.
Don't worry, please tell me what you know. This event, I've already searched for answers for a long time.
Quite so. I don't know where to begin.
Over here, Mr. Zhongli. I've been looking for you.
Put down your...
First of all, I'm not
The Fatui's...
But this time, I will be I heard that Wang Sheng...
So you mean to say that this is work? Well,
Of course you would be...
Wait, if you are studying archaeology, can I go too? I am also a scholar in this field, so I can help.
That will give us a chance to continue the topic we were just discussing. Oh, and you should tag along too. This experience may be of help to you on your future adventures. It is a story from before the rise of the Seven. Although the god of salt has already perished, it will still be a meaningful experience for your journey.
Wait. This is an archaeological expedition.
But this friend of mine has a treasure-finding talent, surpassed by no one. It will surely be of great help to us.
Oh? What talent?
If my friend espies a treasure chest, they will absolutely find a way to open it.
Hey, Paimon's good at that too!
Well, that is quite enticing. All right then. Well, let's go. There's no time. An ancient artifact would be good.
Drink and be merry.
This place looks so ordinary.
Huh?
I don't mean the scenery, but
Guyan Stone Forest is actually the perfect place to be, if you wish to learn about the gods or the history of the Archon War. Legend has it that Rex Lapis threw spears made of large rock into the sea here, piercing and crushing the overlord of the vortex. After many years of wind erosion, those stone spears have turned into the unique rock formations we see now.
These mountains were the Lord of Geo's weapons?
What we see now is just the part of them that remains. The stone spears hurled by Rex Lapis all those years ago were much greater, both in number and in size. but due to the different angles they landed at, their large centers of mass, erosion by seawater, and years of gravity, many of them have been completely swallowed by the sea. So besides wind erosion, the initial collapsing of the stone spears also played a big part in the formation of Guyan Stone Forest.
Well, a god able to fight one so powerful as Rex Lapis was certainly very strong in its own right.
Indeed. This is where the value lies in research at Guyan Stone Forest. Most of the objects from that time were lost to the sea. But the gigantic waves created by the Overlord of the Vortex have given those sunken objects a chance to see the light of day again.
So you're saying that if we look carefully, we'll be able to get well, since we brought so...
Okay then. I will go with my friend here. Although I have a smattering of knowledge in various disciplines, when it comes to archaeology, I can't compete with the expert here.
Huh? Me?
What's the matter?
I get it.
Okay. If we find anything valuable or rare, let's meet on the shore opposite from here. The ancient god probably left behind lots of elemental marks. Following them should make our search much easier.
Well, go ahead then. Use your elemental sight to look for any marks. Enhanced Animal Module 75. Absorption test. Yeah. Ouch! Meanie! Stand clear. Don't break my go. I'll catch up.
Leave it all to me.
Get him! Animo test 6308. Stand.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Why are there enemies here?
Guyan Stone Forest is a place where a god was defeated, and its remnants still affect the area to this day.
They're gathering together here. But why?
See that object in the center? Perhaps it emits the remnant strength of the god. That would certainly attract them. But the hydro-mimic monsters... I have a contract, and must put my personal feelings aside. Go ahead. Defeat them, and recover the relic.
Absorption test.
Disappear!
No one escapes my sights. Go, go!
I must leave no stone unturned.
Stand clear. Enhanced animal.
Must keep training.
Absorption test. Animo test 6308.
I must leave no stone unturned. Someone needs assistance. I'll catch up.
Windblade!
Absorption test.
Steady as stone. Time to clean up. Leave it all to me.
Stand clear. Animo test 6308.
Steady as stone.
It's just a stone slab, but its design is quite unique. This should be enough to garner some information. Let's head back.
Someone needs assistance.
You call yourself a scholar of archaeology? You can't even recognize—
We all have our areas of expertise.
Oh, stop arguing!
This girl just keeps bragging about how she's an archaeologist, but she doesn't even know anything about the surrounding ruin. She left me to rely solely on—
I've just been researching the god of salt, so I'm not familiar with sea relics. Is that so strange? And you kept asking about how much Mora everything is worth. Can the value of relics only be measured in Mora?
I mean, isn't measuring their value in Mora the easiest way? This also matches the traditions of Liyuan, doesn't—
Now, calm down. Oh. What a shame. These objects were indeed washed ashore by the Overlord of the Vortex, but they have nothing to do with the god besides being in the vicinity at the time. The stone slab we found, however, has a mysterious pattern and faint aura of divine power. Perhaps it will be useful for research purposes.
Quick, give it to me. At least we didn't come for nothing. Oh, but these other objects are certain—
So, it's only valuable for—
Not at all. My quest will uncover the history of the god of... But you're...
Nonsense! I'm a professional archaeology researcher from Snezhnaya. Oh? Why's that?
That's not an ancient...
See? You do what...
What? I heard that Salterai was once the home of the god of Salt's people. Therefore...
According to legend, the people of the god of Salt, but this legend has been around for...
Oh, good. That's just...
About that, I know. However, the ruin entrance has been sealed by a mysterious... I found a mechanism that seemed to be related to the seal, but when I undid the mechanism, the seal wasn't effective. So at the moment, the seal's origin and how to break it are very important topics in my research on the god of Salt. I don't know. The god of Salt was a benevolent god, adored by the people, not to mention powerful. She wouldn't have any kind of shameful secrets to hide. So, the one who wants to hide some truth is very possibly her killer, Morax.
This doesn't sound like something the Lord of Geo would do, though.
Who cares about all that? It's...
You weren't listening at all.
Ah, but we have the illustrious Mr. Zhongli with us.
This seal seems to be quite ancient.
I may know something about it.
What?
Over the years, I've heard various rumors with bits of knowledge about seals. Although their references seem rather disorderly, they do in fact contain the secret to breaking seals. Let's go take a look at the mechanism Miss Wanyan just mentioned.
Okay, since Mr. Zhongli says so, follow me then.
This is not the end.
Here it is. There's some debris scattered here that, when put together, look like they definitely had to do with the god of Salt. According to the inscription on the side, if one looks from a certain angle, the secret to the mechanism will be revealed. See that? Although we activated the mechanism, nothing happened to the seal.
That's because there's actually another mechanism that must be activated.
Another?
Let me lead the way from here.
This place seems familiar. Huh, I remember. I think there's some elemental monument. When I investigated the seal last time, I had someone with a vision accompany me. But when we lit up all the elemental monuments, nothing happened.
That's because you don't just need to activate them at the same time, but in a certain order as well. The secret to this puzzle is hidden in the legends about the Archon War. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east. North. All desolate and devoid of life. Liyue is vast, yet even one haven is hard to find.
To the north, to the east, do the people...
Certainly you have, to provide a haven for her people, whose lives had been ravaged by the Archon War. This benevolent god searched all across Liyue. At that time, with the chaotic fires of war engulfing the land, even one sliver of peace was a luxury, and that haven she eventually found is right here. Today, it is known as Salterai.
How sad, then. In the end, this peaceful place was destroyed by Morax.
Okay, enough with the...
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west. With this clue, you should be able to solve the puzzle.
Here, let me help you. Oh my. Come a little closer.
I must leave no... Stone unturned.
Come a little closer.
Look! The seal really was broken! Mr. Zhongli is indeed quite remarkable.
It was nothing, really. Now, it's time that people learn the hidden truth, lost to time. Before entering the ruin, I have a proposal that will help us prevent the kind of senseless art.
Okay.
I propose you to agree upon a contract, stipulating that we alternate who gets claim to each treasure we encounter, with only one object permitted per claim. To show my sincerity, I won't be taking any treasure.
Hey! Don't pass it up!
I don't agree. I mean, you want me to split the treasure with this...
I don't agree either. He will only defile the precious relics left.
Well then, if the contract is not agreed upon, you will have to rely on your own experience to find whatever treasures are hidden in this ruin, as well as traps.
You have the audacity to demand this. Okay then.
If you want me to agree upon this contract, so be it. I just have one. If we discover the truth behind the God of Salt, you must judge it fairly, even if the truth harms Morax's image.
I can accept this arrangement. Well then, let's go.
This world is full of unsolved...
I'll catch up. Steady as stone. Leave it all to me. Are these statues?
No. These are people.
Duh.
They were probably followers of the God of Salt.
How did they become this way?
What in the world is hidden deep in this ruin? I must leave no stone unturned.
quake!
Look at this! It's filled halfway.
Oh, it just looks like a fancy salt holder. Seems like the god of...
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel. Although it is only half full, it is also...
What? You're saying that even if I pour the salt out, the amount inside won't change?
Exactly.
Able to produce endless salt. The god of salt is powerful indeed.
Finally, after all that effort, I've found precious treasure. I claim this as mine. I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10,000 bags. I can sell it and make a fortune.
Hey, how can you use a relic of the god of salt?
If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, then the next object we find will belong to Miss Wanyan, according to the contract agreed upon.
Of course, as we agreed. But how can anything be worth more than this rare find?
Since we have a contract, it's no...
Then let's move on, shall we?
Solidify! This is order! Crumble! Huh, just a simple ruler. It doesn't look to be...
This, if I remember correctly...
Indeed. But the god of salt, when you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt. The deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear.
What? That's even better than the salt chalice!
Well then, according to our contract, the salt ruler goes to Miss Wanyan.
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized this entire expedition. Why should I get the short end of the stick? And this girl has been useless! Why would she get any...
Oh boy, here we go again.
So you are saying you want to break the contract?
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen... Let's not forget who hired who.
Because you agreed to... Rex Lapis once said, ones who break their contract
That is one of your Liyue gods.
will suffer the wrath of the rock.
Pay your dues. Order guide you. Gather.
Steady as stone.
You can't run from death.
I shall confiscate your treasure. You are not worthy to continue in...
Oh, darn you!
Some archaeological... Yeah, good...
Clement's wrongdoing stemmed from... When people see the object of... I think we should be honest.
Huh?
That in truth, not a single member of this...
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge, and can recognize naught but a few simple relics. However, you are an expert when it comes to anything regarding the god of salt. You aren't interested in archaeology or relics. What you're really interested in is the god of salt. I believe those legends about the god of salt that you mentioned on the Pearl Galley are passed down between generations at Yinyuan Hall.
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great knowledge and talents. I seem to have been right to seek you out once I plucked up my courage. You're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. I come from one of the 8 trades under the jurisdiction of the Qixing, Yinyuan Hall of the salt industry. Our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago, when the Archon War engulfed the land in chaos.
Oh, right! Now that you mention it, the people of Liyue very seldom use the name Morax.
During the war, Morax assassinated our god out of envy for her power. He left us alone and lost in the world. We hate him! But this is Morax's Liyue after all. And its history is written as he wishes. So I seek proof of Morax's guilt. He has blood on his head. We agreed to a contract that we will face the truth head on, didn't we, Mr. Zhongli?
Naturally, of course. But I must add, Liyue is no longer Morax's Liyue. Come with me. All the answers you see.
Rise! Stabilize!
I must leave no... Absorption test. Animo test 6308.
I will have order!
Stabilize!
Someone needs assistance.
This is order. Solidify!
Stand clear.
Stabilize!
Windblade!
Animo test 6308.
Stabilize!
This is... a sword? Aha! It's a broken sword! This is proof! This proves that the god of salt had to fight back. The power of this sword surely is much greater than that of the salt chalice and salt ruler. If we can repair the sword, then we can show the world the mighty power of the god of salt.
It does look like something left behind after being defeated in battle.
2 pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological perspective, these are 2 separate relics. According to the contract, you can only claim one.
Why? We were alternating claims to treasure, true, but...
Yes, But the only one object per claim clause still holds true.
This logic!
Zhongli, she's...
When there's a contract, nothing can be allowed to slide. If the contract is not followed, then it is broken.
No! If I only take one half, then it can't be repaired, and the power of the God of Salt cannot be restored. No matter what, I must be faithful to her. Even if it breaks the contract, I don't care.
So you are already decided? Then there is a price to pay for breaking the contract.
Zhongli!
That is to say, you consign yourself to suffer the wrath of the rock.
That's okay. Punish me however you want.
No, you can't...
Perhaps that punishment would be as punishment. I will tell you the truth.
Huh? The truth?
Yes. The truth that I am about to tell. I'm afraid to say that the god of salt, Havria, was not the powerful god you imagine her to be. Rather, she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods. When it came to war, she lost, never able to win a seat among the seven.
What?
During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning to vie for control of Tevat. But Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, she could save herself and her people from the war. However, during such a long war, there is no end to the advances of aggressors. After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands, until only one small haven remained.
No.
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people with.
Not even a single blade?
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead the murder weapon used to kill her.
Murder weapon? No! That's not true!
As I said before...
Preposterous! You are...
Hey! Come back!
It is a punishment after all. Let's follow her deeper into the ruin.
Quake! Crumble!
Are these statue thingies running? What will we find ahead?
Salt. And betrayal.
What are all these? What did they see? What?
Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this door will show you all that happened back then. This is the scene of the crime. Havria's body dissipated, leaving nothing but these traces of salt. Her dying moments have since been frozen in time to this very day. The story continues that some among her people realized at last that this gentle, kind, but weak god could never protect anyone in wartime. The Archon War was cruel in the extreme. Instead of consigning her to the agony of defeat, they thought, perhaps,
But...
no matter how weak the god, the power that flows forth when they are slain is beyond the strength of mortal coils to bear. Those who could not flee were thus transformed. Those of her people who were untouched by this disaster left for Liyue. where they sought refuge with Rex Lap. Their descendants feared Havria's remnants, and lived in terror that she had laid upon them an eternal curse. So they risked their lives to come here, to break the sword, and offer up obeisances in hopes that her anger might be appeased. But they need not have done so. For how could a god who had never once resisted, even till the end, nurse hatred?
This must be a lie. Don't you dare try to...
Yikes.
This is judging by how she appeared, I fear that she will struggle for a time. Indeed, in ages past, faith in a god who has already passed will do you no good. So it is for Havria. And so it is for Morak. All right then. Now, would you...
Huh?
Treading old ground. One cannot help but be reminded of old acquaintances.
Windblade!
Now, I mentioned before that many gods of old have been sealed beneath the Guyan stone forest. The Adepti have presently handed Liyue over to mortals, and Havria's time was even further in the past. The Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler that she left behind should not return to Liyue. To leave them here is to let them slumber. And it is also a homecoming. I ended an era with my own two hands. History records, but history may be changed. This incident proved that. I need to find a better way of recording history in order to engrave its truth. Stone carvings were one such ancient method. But unchanging stone, immovable earth, even one such as myself.
Zhongli.
Therefore, I thought of you, Trap. You are one who crosses the celestial atlas, and who passes through countless worlds. If our history is engraved in your memory, it will one day accompany you into another world. As long as a traveler like you is able to record what happened, then a backup of sorts will exist for times and tides of Tevat. Now then, it is time that we consigned both the Salt Chalice and Salt Ruler to the sea.
What?
As I said before, this is the place to which this includes Osial, Overlord of the Vortex. Thousands of years ago, the Adepti and I fought against the turmoil that plagued every corner of this land. Guyan Stone Forest, where I sealed many gods with my spears. After so long, naught but folktales remain. Osial, you and I were foes, but our ancient grudge is but a bygone memory now. May that which Havria has left behind be yours to subsume. And thus another spark of divinity departs from Liyue. My legacy shall now be left to those who come after to debate. I will remain here for a while. I fear that moments of reminiscence like this can only grow fewer. That is a good question. But now... Yes, but if this journey was to your liking, why don't you come along the next time I am seeking...